Right now, Kiké Hernández is colder than cold. The big question here is why? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. So far for the Red Sox, they've had a lot of really great and some surprising offensive performances to begin 2023. One of the people not on that list is Kiké Hernández, who's off to a really cold start for the Boston Red Sox, and it feels as though he's struggling all over the place, in the batter's box, on the field, with all the changes that have come in the 2023 season. So what we're going to do in today's videos, we're going to break it all down. We're going to take a deep dive into Kiké Hernández' start to the 2023 season. We're going to talk about why it's happening, what is going on, and we're going to talk about what are some possible solutions to Kiké's struggles on the field, in the batter's box, and we're going to talk about if those solutions are even possible. But before we get into that, if you love collecting Red Sox memorabilia and you have not been to Foco.com yet, you are missing out. Foco has some of the most unique and rare Red Sox bobbleheads anywhere on the internet. And right now, for members of this community, you can get 10% off your entire order on anything on Foco.com using code RedSeatRadio at checkout. That's RedSeatRadio, all one word. So head over to Foco.com now, take a look at their bobbleheads, and get yourself some of the most unique collectibles anywhere on the internet at 10% off with code RedSeatRadio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Thank you to Foco for sponsoring this one. Let's get into it. Like I said in the intro, Kiké Hernández isn't just struggling offensively, but defensively as well. So I think the best way to fully break down what's going on with Kiké and how we could possibly fix it is to take a look at it in different categories. The first category we're going to look at is his offensive numbers, because so far this year, Kiké has a batting average of .234. He has a .292 on base percentage, a .348 slug, and a .640 OPS, which gives him a 72 OPS plus, meaning that in terms of production, he's about 28% below league average production at the plate compared to the average player in Major League Baseball. Now, Kiké Hernández normally gets off to a pretty slow start during the regular season. It's something that we sort of become accustomed to as Red Sox fans watching Kiké play for this team. But this year in particular feels a bit off. So why is that? Well, to figure out what's going on with Kiké, we need to look beyond his stat line statistics and take a look at what his actual profile looks like. And the first thing that we notice is that Kiké Hernández isn't hitting the ball as hard as we're used to. Currently, his hard hit percentage is down at 31.8% of the time, which is about 3% less than last year and more than 10% less of what it was in 2021, which in my opinion, 2021 was Kiké Hernández's best year on the Boston Red Sox. His barrel percentage is half of what it was last year at 2.7%, and all of his expected statistics are extremely low. He is currently in just the 6th percentile in expected batting average and the 2nd percentile in expected slugging. Basically, what this is telling us, based on how Kiké Hernández is hitting the ball this year, he is expected to be one of the worst hitters in Major League Baseball. He is also striking out at a higher rate than we have seen over the past 2 years at 20.8% of the time, and he's walking less than he has in those last 2 years as well at 7.1% of the time. Basically, what these statistics are saying to us is, hey, Kiké Hernández isn't making the contact that he normally makes with baseballs, and he's swinging and missing a lot more and being less patient at the plate, which is kind of a deadly combination when you're talking about a slow start to a season. One of the reasons this may be happening is due to his batted ball profile. Right now, Kiké Hernández isn't pulling the ball as much as we're used to seeing from a guy like Kiké. So far this year, Kiké has pulled the ball 36.4% of the time, which is way down from last year, and it's way down from 2021 as well. He's going more towards the opposite field right now at 30.9% of the time compared to the last 2 years as well. So basically, what I'm saying here is that Kiké is pulling the ball less, and he's trying to drive the ball to the opposite field more, which normally would be a great sign, right? It's a guy who's trying to let the ball get deep into the zone and push it the other way. He's not trying to pull everything. But for hitters like Kiké Hernández, pulling the ball is actually where they make their money. Kiké Hernández is a dead red fastball hitter who pulls the ball naturally. If he gets away from that, that could be a problem, and it could be the reason we're seeing a problem so far this year. In his best season with the Red Sox, again, I think it's 2021, he was pulling the ball 42.5% of the time. That's almost 6% more than what he's doing in 2023, and that could genuinely be the reason as to why Kiké Hernández is seeing less success at the plate. If he's trying to drive the ball the other way, that's an entirely different approach, and it could be something that's throwing him off offensively. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a professional hitter or a professional coach, but I'm just looking at the number, because when Kiké Hernández is pulling the ball, his numbers are higher, and when he's not pulling the ball as much, his numbers dip significantly. Maybe that's the biggest problem right now with Kiké Hernández, but that might not be the only solution. One of the solutions could also have to do with his fielding as well. So let's take a look at what Kiké Hernández is doing on the field, how he could possibly fix that, and how it may be affecting him at the plate. To say Kiké Hernández is struggling defensively right now may be a bit of an understatement, honestly. Right now, Kiké Hernández leads Major League Baseball in total errors. He has 9, all of them at shortstop. He is currently ranked in the first percentile in outs above average, meaning that 99% of Major League Baseball players have been better defensively so far this year than Kiké Hernández. Basically, it's saying that he has been the worst defensive player at shortstop so far this year. He also has -2 defensive runs saved, which honestly isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's still 2 defensive runs saved below league average production, meaning that he is well below league average production at shortstop so far this year. Yeah. Kiké Hernández hasn't been a productive shortstop for the Red Sox. That's something we already knew. We didn't need the statistics to tell us, hey, he hasn't been that great at shortstop. The problem when it comes to a solution to this issue is that really the only solution here is to let him play and figure it out, right? Keep him on the field and see if he can figure out how to be a league average shortstop. The problem with that solution is that that may be a detriment to this Red Sox team. We've seen it before where Kiké Hernández has been close to blowing games for this Red Sox team. He has blown games for this Red Sox team, and the Red Sox, when they're defensively sound, look like a much better ball club. When we had Yu Chang playing shortstop, this team was going really, really well. When we have Pablo Reyes at shortstop, this team looks completely different defensively, which is a problem for Kiké Hernández because that is the solution, right? Let him play more. The problem with his defensive issues is that it's taking away his focus from his offense. If Kiké Hernández is not confident on the field that he can get the job done, that could leak into the batter's box, right? If he makes a couple errors a game, that's a lot of pressure to say, hey, look, I screwed up, let me make up for it at the plate. And that could be another problem with why Kiké Hernández is struggling so far offensively, because he's putting more of his focus into being a league average shortstop than he is to getting back to league average production at the plate. Again, Kiké Hernández is at his best offensively when he's pulling the ball and focused on driving the ball to left field. There is a possibility that because he's trying to be the shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, that strategy is sort of being pushed to the back seat to try and get his defensive reps in. The main solution to this problem, in my opinion, is to simply move Kiké Hernández off the shortstop position. You could possibly platoon him at second base while Christian Arroyo is hurt, while Mondesi's coming back, and while Story's coming back, and have him only hit against lefties at second base, and kind of when all those guys get healthy, figure it out from there. You could also maybe put him into a 4th, 5th outfield role where he platoons with someone in the outfield against lefties throughout the year as well. So there are a couple options outside of shortstop to get Kiké Hernández some regular-ish playing time without having to sacrifice your defensive ability on the field. Not to mention, moving him off shortstop may take some pressure away from him offensively as well. Going into the season, he really became a vocal leader of this Red Sox team, sort of the face of the new era of Boston baseball, and that could have been a problem as well. That's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, having to play a brand new position and having basically a brand new team to come around you as well. That's a lot of pressure on one guy. Maybe taking him off shortstop is the best solution, not only defensively for this Red Sox team, but for Kiké Hernández's own mental approach as well. Overall, I think his defense has a lot to do with what's going on offensively, but again, I think Kiké Hernández's biggest offensive struggles are coming from the fact that he's trying to drive the ball the other way as opposed to pull the ball like he's been successful doing for the last couple years of his career. So in my opinion, that's how the Red Sox fix Kiké Hernández. Take him off shortstop, allow him to focus on his offensive abilities, and give him less pressure than he's put on himself so far this year. But That's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think the solution to Kiké Hernández's slow start is? Do you think it's taking him off for shortstop? Do you think it's keeping him at shortstop and letting his confidence grow naturally? What do you think is the solution to Kiké Hernández's slow start? And what do you think the Red Sox should do about it? Let me know all your thoughts on Kiké Hernández and his struggles early in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, use code RedSeatRadio, all one word, at checkout to get 10% off your order at foco.com. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you tonight for a live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and in the Red Seats.